beautiful people, and welcome. In this video, we're going to strictly talk about synthetic division and the steps you need to take to find the quotient or the answer to this type of division problem. As always, if I make a mistake, I'm human. Please let me know so I may learn from my mistakes. All right, synthetic division is an effective shortcut for a special type of division of polynomials. So here's the thing. Can't use synthetic division unless you have one particular thing, special type. Now, what is this special type? Your divisor must have a coefficient of 1. If your divisor does not have a coefficient of 1, you cannot use synthetic division, and you must use long division. So here's the thing. Not only does it need to have a coefficient of 1, it also has to have the power of 1. So let's write this out. So what are the requirements? So variable must be to the first power. Coefficient of 1 needs to be 1. And the third thing is that C is a real number. So no i's, no imaginaries. All right, so if we have a coefficient of 1, if we have an exponent of 1, and C is a real number, then we can proceed with synthetic division. So these three things need to be checked before you're continuing. Now, synthetic division is an effective shortcut in that it is a shortcut. You don't have so many steps. So let's go ahead and do an example, and I'm going to write the steps on the right-hand side. So for example number 1, let's do this. We're going to do x squared plus 5x plus 6 divided by x minus 1. So as always, step number 1, check the requirements. All right, once you check your requirements, and these have all checked off, step number 2, check for order and check for missing terms. Again, the order has to be from decreasing exponential values and if there's any missing exponent, you're going to put a 0 and you're going to put the exponential value. So if it's like x squared is missing, you're going to put 0x squared. If x is missing, you're going to put 0x. All right, let's go ahead and do step number 1, step number 2. Step number 1 is check all the requirements. So what are we dividing by? This is our divisor. And our divisor has an exponent of 1. Our divisor does have a coefficient of 1. And 1 is a real number here. Perfect. Check the dividend for decreasing power. So 2, 1, 0. Good. There's nothing missing, so we're good. So here is where the real work comes in. So what you're going to do is you're going to write the coefficients only inside an upside down division symbol. So y. And here's your note. Leave room on the inside. So how does this actually look like? This is going to look like this. You're going to write a big L. That's an upside down division. You're going to write the coefficient only. So what is in front of x squared? What is in front of x? And what is the constant? Since x squared doesn't have anything in front of it, it will be a 1. So we're going to write 1. We're going to write positive 5. Now, always make sure to take the sign with this. So if it's negative, you're going to write a negative. And I usually just write pluses if it's positive. You're going to take the coefficient, which again must be 1, and you're going to divide by 1. Now, these are the steps that you do once you have done that. Step number 2. Oh, back up a little bit. Back up. I want to clarify something. This is not it. This is not it. We're going to remove that. Remove that arrow. Shame on teacher. Okay, let's do this. Step 3. Find the 0 of your divisor. So for example, if our divisor is x minus 1, I'm going to set that equal to 0. I'm going to solve. X is equal to 1, and that is going to be your divisor. So this is going to be your divisor for your synthetic division. So this is where the 1 came from. Your 1's going to come from here. From finding out your 0. This is your 0. Okay, now that you've done that, first number inside, carry it down untouched. Don't do anything. Okay, so don't do anything with it. Now that you have that first number down, you're going to multiply, multiply. I'm thinking of what's the best way to say it. So I'm just going to show you. You're taking the 0 right here. You're going to multiply on the outside. You're going to put in the answer. And you're going to add on the inside. So multiply on the outside. Write the answer, which is the product, and add on the inside. So how would this look like? This would look like 1 times 1 is 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. And you keep doing that. 1 times 6 is 6. And what do we do on the inside? We add on the inside. 6 plus 6 is positive 12. Then, once you have this, step number 6, write your answer, write your final answer. In reverse order. From right to left. The right term, the most right term, is the remainder. So what you're going to have, it's super important that you know this is the remainder. The number on the right is the remainder. So what you're going to have is you're going to have remainder. You're going to have x to the 0 power. You're going to have x to the first power, x squared, x cubed, x fourth, dot, dot, dot. You're going to work backwards from right to left, with the right always being your remainder. Now, how do we write the remainder? You're going to write the remainder as a fraction. So how does our answer look like? Our remainder is 12, so 12 over our original divisor, x minus 1. Then I have a 6, so that means it's 6x to the 0 power. Then I have a 1, which means I have an x. So how would my final answer actually look like? X to the first power, I have x plus 6x to the 0, that's just 6, plus 12 over x minus 1. And that is your answer to this synthetic division problem. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.